What we're looking at now is ALB detection history. ALB was found in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, first detection 1996, followed by Amityville, New York, same year, and then a couple years later, because of expanded survey, 50 miles out, it was found in Bay City, Queens. Then in 1998 also we found in Chicago, Illinois. You might have heard about the Chicago, Illinois infestation because they caught it early in the industrial park. They had the state governor, governor behind them. They had the city mayor behind them, and the city mayor of Chicago carried a lot of weight with his decision to eradicate every host tree within a certain distance from that quarantine zone. And they went in very heavy-handed to remove every tree in people's yard, front yard, parks, backyards, wherever they found those trees that were potential hosts of ALB were eradicated. And 3 years later, they could declare success in eradication of ALB from Chicago. So it took them actually 6 years, not 3, to complete that. But they did, 98 on, make that effort and were able to, very recently claim eradication. Islip, New York, 1999. That was the one we were hoping to declare eradicated this year. This would have been our 3rd year. One beetle was found. We're not too sure if that, it came off of a tree or what. One bug was found in the area. So there's Amityville and Islip, still are always that cusp. We haven't been removing trees in those 2 areas, but we still have that dilemma. New Jersey found it in 2002. Firewood was moved illegally from Long Island to New Jersey. That was snuffed out pretty quick, but then 2 years later, they found it about 10 blocks further south, and it had been there for 8 or 10 years. So it had been there for quite a long time. Canada found it in 2003. New York's most recent was found in 2006 at Pearls Island. DEC went in very, very heavy-handed, removed every host tree that was on that island. That island was not inhabited by humans. It was just a natural preserve for seagoing birds. And so they went in, and every host tree, like Chicago did, that could harbor Asian longhorn beetle, those trees were cut, chipped, and left on the island. They were not taken off or burnt there because so soon in 2006, after 9/11, they didn't want to have some burning so close to Long Island, to Manhattan. Then in 2008, Worcester, Massachusetts, and then this year, Boston, Massachusetts, were confirmed ALB positive. When they aged, the Worcester, Massachusetts had been there at least 8 to 10 years, getting outside the industrial park and into woodlots, natural wood stands. And then just this year, they found it just within very close distance of Harvard's campus. It just gives you a quick oversight of the size and the scope of the difference we have here. I mean, I think in Illinois it was only 17 square miles, so they could go in and be heavy-handed with 17 square miles. But you can see a lot more work cut out for us here in New York because of the breadth across Long Island that it is. So. Again, the adults are glossy, black, like a polished, well-polished patent leather shoe. It has distinct white dots. It has a banded antenna, black and white, black and white. It has steely blue feet, or tarsus, if you will, on the insect, and it feeds on the leaf, the main vein of the leaf. When as an adult, when up there laying their eggs and scratching away, it'll go up from time to time and eat, just for nutrition, eat the main vein off of the leaf. So, many of the signs you first look for are the egg-laying sites in June, July, August. And then if you see some fresh egg-laying sites, look up at the canopy, silhouette underneath the canopy, and look for the main vein being chewed out. And you've got some active feeding on that tree right there at that time. Don't even wait for an exit hole if it's a new infestation. Basically, we're continuing what we did in 97, 98 with USDA, APHIS, PPQ, continuing their effort. Almost every county fair, I know the state fair, they're always there. Any trade association, through arborists or landscapers or any of the green industry puts on, we're usually there. If they're not, I am. Putting out the word on Asian longhorn beetle. And so basically, they're the ones that have all that literature and current material for what to look for and how to look for it. They're the ones that have put this lurking in the trees together. Again, they had this roving educational period. And they also reach out to the media and then have repeatedly down on Long Island, especially in Westchester area, to get the word out. So how do we look for this thing? It is a visual survey. We rely on early detection by using binoculars, listening to woodpeckers and investigating where the woodpeckers are busy looking for larvae, looking at scanning the canopy of a tree. They're going to lay their eggs in the higher part of the tree and then work their way down, so you don't waste your time on the low or mid bowl. Work up in the canopy, and then if the population is that heavy, they will be crawling around in the trunk in late July, early August. But basically, with binoculars, our state and federal survey specialists on Long Island especially, and now they're all going to Massachusetts to help out in Boston, are looking at first identifying the host tree, identifying any dieback or weakening of the tree, and then looking for signs and symptoms of active feeding or egg-laying sites on the tree. Again, if it's a new infestation, you're not going to see any exit holes. You're not going to see any frass coming out. But we basically are looking always out from the center radius. We're always trying to find where the outer limit is of that infestation in Boston and try to be able to work our way down to eliminate the infestation. Once the eggs have hatched and they're feeding down inside the core of the tree, they'll push all the frass and their excrement out the exit hole. And they'll always just work their gallery bigger and bigger and bigger as they feed. So your next early detection is seeing frass, sawdust, if you will, up at the branch collars, up where the branches are coming off, or at the base of the tree where the tree root flare is occurring. You'll see this beginning to stack up. The more larval feeding you have in July, August, and September into the fall, you'll see a lot more frass coming out of the tree. That's a sign, a sure sign you got something going on inside the tree. You should investigate up in the canopy. Our biggest concern is the movement of firewood. And firewood can move this pest very, very easily. People usually worry about if the wood is holy or got larvae in it, just it's ready to be burnt, and if it's cured enough, it's taken out. So a lot of effort last year was looking at campgrounds. All this effort we're doing now, we're trying to reach out to the industrial hubs and this kind of audience was focused more on camp managers and camp park rangers and volunteer groups to go into the campgrounds. We basically used Reserve America and located every campground at the actual fire pit that Worcester, Massachusetts, and any resident of Long Island or any resident of New Jersey. We took the 3 quarantine zones and said if any campers came from these quarantine zones since 2001 or to 2008, we wanted to know where those fire pits were. And we actually had people on the ground with binoculars out scoping that campground and all the campgrounds around it, just the neighboring campgrounds, making sure there was no early sign of Asian longhorn beetle or emerald ash borer on those host trees. And we didn't find anything. We didn't find any smoking guns last year. Ironically enough, Saugerties in Ulster County, how we missed that one, I don't know, because it's over hundreds of trees already infested.